Hello, viewer. Welcome to Chungu Jamii. My name is Betty. I am your host today, and I am excited to be here today, joined by a guest who is going to be telling us through something that is going on right now. We have had a lot of online ways to make money, to do business, to trade. We have heard about Bitcoin. We have heard about so many others. And today we're going to be talking about Forex trading online. I am joined by Richard. I will allow him a minute to introduce himself. Welcome.
Yes, thank you, Betty. Hello, viewers. My name is Richard Motinda. I am a co-director administration of the Anovax Technical College based in Nairobi. Thank you.
Okay, welcome, Richard. Good to have you on the show today. We are talking about online forex trading. Please tell this to our viewer who has no idea what this is.
Now, Betty, Forex trading is literally a new phenomenon in the market and in Kenya today. But again, this has been a reserve of the commercial banks, as those who are already literate in the area of forex trading are concerned. But again, thank you to the government of Kenya. In 2018, August, this industry was regulated by the Capital Markets Authority, and it was actually brought into the glare of the Kenyan population. So when you talk about forex trading, most of the Kenyans should always be able to get into the issues related to the exchange of money. Say, for example, the US dollar versus the Kenya shilling across the counter in commercial banks or in the accredited areas or businesses where you can actually be able to do so. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about the Forex bureaus. So what is Forex trading? Forex trading is just the simultaneous buying of one currency against another. As simple as that. So, apart from currencies, we actually also have what you call commodities, and that includes things to do with oil. We also have precious metals like gold. We also have silver. So that can be done online and what we call real time when it comes to forex trading. So there's usually that kind of a confusion between the exchange of currencies across the counter and doing it online, where now, like the computers, in this case maybe laptops, are used to access those markets 24/7 for commercial banks. Those are now the market, what you call the market movers, or 24/5. That means 24 hours, 5 days a day for what we call the retail traders. Betty? Yes.
Okay. So people are trading online using currencies, but not literally exchanging over the counter as we see in our forex bureaus.
Yeah, in a case scenario, if I can demystify this maybe for the common mwananchi, sometimes we go to commercial banks, we walk into a commercial bank and we buy dollars. Like, let's say, tomorrow being a Wednesday, today is a holiday. So once we do that, we wait, we may end up, our customer can be able to wait maybe for a month, or depending on when these rates can be able to go up in terms of the value of the dollar, go back to the same bank and exchange that money to be able to do what? To get a profit out of the value that this currency has gained without even knowing how long it is going to take. So instead of doing that, once you gain the skill of forex trading, which actually currently is a course, you are able now to do that real time, because you're not limited to the confines of the Kenyan market, but you are now able to go across the borders and actually be able to access what we call the global money markets across the world. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Before we get to the modes of training and what's available for our country, probably would like to know how legitimate is this? What is the risk of, because when you're trading, and especially when it's online and you are talking globally, there's a lot of risk involved. How do I just put my money and be sure that I'm going to get it back?
Now, Betty, Forex trading is just a business like the other.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to this issue of Forex trading, for you to be able to be very, very sure, for you to be able to actually be very sure once you get your money into this online platform and be able now to get your rewards, because Forex trading, for those who know, it has very high returns. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, you have to be well skilled. And to be well skilled actually means be trained in this area, because you
Mm-hmm.
don't just wake up today, go to any commercial bank in Kenya, wire
Mm-hmm.
your money to the MetaTrader 4, that is now the
Mm-hmm.
software that is used in trading,
Mm-hmm.
and now start doing what you actually don't know, a step at a time. You are supposed to get into training, be able now to know what are the pros and the cons when it comes to what are you supposed to do and what are you not supposed to do when you are trading in Forex, in the Forex markets.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you are doing that, I better you'll allow me go maybe part of what is required here for you
Mm-hmm.
to be able to know that, or to be sure your money is safe. Within your training, you'll be actually taught what we call a trading psychology, where you'll be actually be trained on what are you supposed to be, what is the state of your mind when you are trading, what
Mm-hmm.
are the indicators, what is supposed to be looked at in terms of maybe globally, in terms of politics of the day. And when I'm talking about politics of the day, we don't look at the politics that rotate around the or around the Kenyan territory. We are looking
Mm-hmm.
at the global politics. For example, when you're talking about the US politics as at now, given that we
Yeah.
have elections next month,
Yes.
talking about maybe when we talked about Brexit sometimes back, it actually affects your trading. So the knowledge of how and when to go about
Mm-hmm.
it comes a long way with that kind of a training. And you can be sure when you
Mm-hmm.
follow the steps that you are given
Mm-hmm.
in the area of training, what you're supposed to avoid, your state of mind in terms of the trading psychology, you'll be able to be sure that your returns will be guaranteed at this point in time. Betty?
Okay, so that means you need the training, very important. But now,
Very.
before again we get to the trading, I'd asked you about the legitimacy, and you have spoken about that. But then, how long has this training been in Kenya? And where can people get this kind of training? Is it certified by the government of Kenya? Who can actually do this kind of training?
Now, Betty, I'm happy to tell the general public that this being a course, and in this case, it has been categorized as a short course in Kenya. And it's
Mm-hmm.
also a course that is also following the trends that we do have in the country of the competency-based curriculum,
Mm-hmm.
where we have now the rollout from now grade 1, now it's up to the 4th grade. So if for those who are aware of what is happening at the tertiary levels, and more so with TVET curriculum, assessment,
Mm-hmm.
and the certification council, they're also
Mm-hmm.
aligning all the courses, not only in Forex trading, to be able at that point in time when the rollout will be complete, to be able to at least marry the two, that is the primary, the high school, and also the at the tertiary levels, both in the middle level colleges and the universities. Now, coming
Okay.
back to your question
Mm-hmm.
about the legitimacy in this,
Mm-hmm.
back in 2016, that is 2016,
Mm-hmm.
personally, I led a team that initiated the design and the development of Forex trading curriculum with TVET, CEDA, that is
Mm-hmm.
Curriculum Development Assessment and Certification Council, which
Mm-hmm.
is under the Ministry of Education. So once we initiated
Mm-hmm.
with the team under my leadership, we carried out a research, and the research entailed issues to do with, is this course or part of this course taught in any of the courses that we do have in this country. So I
Mm-hmm.
carried this research in different universities and also
Mm-hmm.
middle level colleges, of which now it was certified by the ministry that this
Mm-hmm.
course needs to be developed because it is worth it for the Kenyan population to be trained. So in 2016, all the way up to 2019 March, when the curriculum process and design and development under the leadership of the Minister of Education came to a completion. And if I'm getting the dates clearly, if I can remember, on March 21st, this curriculum was validated by stakeholders who involved the Nairobi Securities Exchange, because they were partners in the development of this curriculum at the Kenya School of Monetary Studies. So it was approved as a diploma, level 6 of this curriculum. So a few months later, in June, the ministry called us again with my team, and we developed level 5, which is the certificate. We developed level 4 and level 3. Level 3 is basically good for anyone who has completed standard 8. That's supposed to be KCPE. Level 4 is good enough for KCP graduate, and there's not that much difference between the level 4 and the level 5. So long as you have actually attained a minimum of D minus at your KCSE. But anything to do with the diploma, you must have attained a minimum of a C minus. So if you just walk into the offices of the Minister of Education, and in this case to be specific, TVET SEDAC in Teleposta Towers, and actually ask whether Forex trading is actually legitimate, you'll be given a nod, and you'll just be given a go-ahead, maybe as a college or as a person who has been doubting, maybe, to do what? To go and get training. So once you are trained, it's upon TVET SIDAC to assess the successful trainee and be able to award what we call certificates. Because after this, you expect to trade, you also expect, maybe for those who would wish, to be employed in a firm that is worth your skill at this point of time. So
it's
yes,
certified, it's valid.
It's valid.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
That's a good one. So how long does the training take?
Now, the training takes actually 3 months. 3 months. That's why it has been categorized as a short course. And within the 3 months, we are talking about Monday to Friday, being the active days of the week. So we actually offer 2 hours per day, Monday to Friday. Now we also have the early morning classes between 6 to 8 or thereabouts for those who are working. And also we have the late evening classes between 6 to 8 in the evening, Monday to Friday. Now, for those who opt to have what we call the weekend classes, we offer them on Saturdays only, between 9 to 2 p.m. Why do we have that extension? So they can be able to cover what the regular student who has been doing it between Monday to Friday has already covered. And at that point, they take the same amount of time, 3 months.
Okay.
Betty, yes.
So when you are trading, your intention is to make money. It's a business. I'm looking at the common Wanjiko who has to wake up at 4 a.m. to go to Gikomba or to Marikiti to get some, grocery and veggies to sell, And now this is a trade that is also supposed to be happening online. So one has gone to the level of committing themselves to a class and has trained and has been certified. You mentioned that they could actually look for a job in a bank. What else could they do? Can you employ yourself? What do you need to start up this kind of business? I know the common Wanjiko needs maybe 1,000 or 500 to get a few tomatoes and set up a grocery. What do you need to start up this kind of trade?
Now, Betty, that is a very good question, because actually by the time you are getting into a course, just like the financial courses, we have the CPA, we have the Bachelor of Finance courses, the trainee in this case actually understands by the end of this training, these are what are expectations that I do have. And with the Kenyan context, most of the people will always expect to do what? To be employed. But talking about the competency-based curriculum that the government of the day is rolling out, it is actually trying to edge out issues to do with the mindset of Kenyans, where you have all the time to be employed. And the jobs that we do have in Kenya, we have so many youths in this country who are very much well educated and they do not have jobs. So with Forex trading, majorly, it is based on self-employment, majorly, meaning that you can also opt to be, you can also opt to be employed. Where can you be employed? You can be employed at the trading floors of the banks, of the commercial banks that trade in this country, and they are very much well known. I don't want to mention here. We also have the brokerage firms. Brokerage firms now, those are the firms that offer the MetaTrader 4. Now that is a software that is used in trading to be able now to be used by that skilled Forex trader to execute his or her trades. So you can be employed there, maybe at the back office. So that may be for the brokerage firms that are licensed in this country, or even out of this country, you can be able to trade on behalf of their clients. Because we have some that have that license to be able to trade on behalf of clients. We also have those that have been licensed so that you can be able to use their platforms. So who is there to make sure that the platforms they are using, how the execution is being done, is actually done well? Is that skilled Forex trader? But with out of the experience that I do have so far, most of them now, in fact, 99%, they get self-employed. Why? Because assuming that I'm a journalist, just like you, or assuming that I'm a clinical medicine trainee who has already gone through successfully and I have a job. This does not even hinder me from maybe pursuing my mainstream career. So what happens is that you can do this alongside, because when it comes to when are you supposed to trade, which are the best days to trade, it will be provided for in your training. So there are those, for example, if the market is so good at maybe 3 a.m., like you've mentioned this person going to Kikomba at that hour, then you'll be able to wake up, be able to execute trades, maybe within 30 minutes, within 1 hour, and you leave. You can leave with your, let's say, laptop. Yes, because you must have a laptop if you are trading. And apart from that person who is in Gikomba, if you have an office and that office is very, very well provided with network, that is internet connection, you can still carry it there. Doesn't mean that you are trying to compromise what you are doing, because these trades can still run when you are not actually in front of your laptop. So those are the three areas. And again, apart now from being employed in brokerage firms, in commercial banks, and also maybe trading for yourself, you can also become a Forex teacher. And in this case, at the level of maybe a tertiary level, you become a Forex trading trainer. That also earns money. And that is also currently what we do ourselves as Anovax Technical College.
Okay. So I had mentioned to you that the Wanjiko will require probably 500 to start up, and you had also spoken about someone graduating from primary level to start this, Isn't it too complex for a class 8 leaver to do this? And how much capital is required so that that person leaving class 8, as they wait for what to do, can begin engaging in this? As you do what you need to do as a clinical officer, you have this as a side hustle. How much capital are you required to put in this in order to make money? Because when you're trading, your entire intention is to make money.
Sure. But I think if I'm getting you well, you have two questions within one statement.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, we
Mm-hmm.
are talking about that class 8, who we have
Yeah.
said is qualified to take a level 3, which is actually the artisan. Remember, taking you back to the government of the day that we are having, they are embracing what we call digital literacy, and it does not just entail issues to do with knowing how to navigate maybe around the computer and something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, they're also supposed to make something worthwhile as they do understand how to go about operating a computer. And when the
Mm-hmm.
Minister of Education called us to be able to develop a level 3 that can be able to be executed by standard 8 level, the government was also looking at how many standard 8 levels actually transit into form words, because we have a clique of some individuals for one reason or another, and they're
Mm-hmm.
not going to base this maybe majorly on issues to do with school fees. They may fail to
Mm-hmm.
join Form 1 for one
Yeah.
reason or another. Now, those
Mm-hmm.
guys are sharp enough to be able to
Mm-hmm.
get into this kind of an industry and start making money. And remember, their brains are tender. They do not
Mm-hmm.
have actually a lot of stress, just like, for
Mm-hmm.
example, you and me, where we are
Mm-hmm.
still trading and making money,
Mm-hmm.
and still being able to carry other burdens to do with family and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they found it necessary for us to be able to develop that curriculum at that level and demystify the language to the
Mm-hmm.
level of a class 8 level. And this is also so to the level of a Form 4 level with level 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Though there's a very big gap between standard 8 and a Form 4 level, there's that big gap. But
True.
actually, when you look at the curriculum, because it's
Mm-hmm.
actually available at the Ministry of Education, because it is now their property. We're the ones who designed, but once we do that, it now becomes the property of the government of Kenya. What they actually do is anything to do with consultation on adjustments, or doing anything to do with like what we call learning guides, like what we are doing currently for those,
Mm-hmm.
on behalf of the ministry, but to be
Yeah.
used by the Kenyan what? The Kenyan child. So at this point in time, the language that is used in that curriculum, the interpretation, and also the books that I'm also going to talk about later in this interview, as
Mm-hmm.
the kind of language that anyone in class 8, Form 4, and also those adults that are in the career sector are able to understand very, very well. And with
Mm-hmm.
now the help of a trainer, sorry, they
Mm-hmm.
can be able now to understand more and grasp the concepts without actually even struggling. Now, coming
Mm-hmm.
to now the issues of capital.
Yeah.
We have brokerage firms in this case.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
just for the sake of the viewer, remember brokerage firms, we have those that are regulated, and we also have those that we can say they are there just the way the world is, to lure those people who are not well trained, and they can
Mm-hmm.
actually lose money through those. And those ones are not recognized by like what we call the Financial Services Authority that regulates brokers in London, for example, on behalf of
Mm-hmm.
all brokerage firms in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, different brokerage firms, they do have different strategies because they're also in business. So,
Mm-hmm.
for some brokerage firms, actually, the minimum is actually $15. You can have that, which is
Mm-hmm.
actually approximately around 1,500 in
Mm-hmm.
Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
We also have others that will also have $100 as minimum. Those are two different accounts. So
Mm-hmm.
we may have, let's say, brokerage firm X with the same minimum, and
Mm-hmm.
brokerage firm Y with the same minimum, $15
Mm-hmm.
and 100. So when you go there, $100 translates into approximately 10,000 Kenya shillings, depending on how your pocket is. That's the
Mm-hmm.
minimum that they can be able to offer.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no maximum, because there's that
Okay.
client or forex trader who can afford even 10 million. Because
Mm-hmm.
in this case, remember, the more money you have in that platform, the better for you. It's just like that person who is operating a kiosk and a supermarket. The profits
Ah.
margins
Mhm.
are
Mhm.
different. So the amount of
Mhm.
capital you inject in that platform will always
Mhm.
matter. But the brokers came with this figure to be able to cater for that person who cannot be able now to get that amount of money that we are saying is huge. And in this case, with your version of putting it right, the one chiku now of of today in certain
Mhm.
places of the country. Yes, $15 and $100 minimum for most of the
Okay.
brokerage firms.
Mhm.
Yes,
Richard,
yes.
once the Wanjiko puts in this money, what is the guarantee of making money?
The guarantee of making money is
Mhm.
there because everything as in this program is all about training. The question that comes in your mind, fine, somebody may help you who has been trained to earn that money through the commercial banks. And remember, when you are using the MT4 or the
Mhm.
MT5, the
Mhm.
MT5, MT4 is a short form of MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5. You
Mhm.
can make choices of which one to use because most of the brokerage firms use both. So it's upon you to know which one to use, and the difference is just the features. There's nothing significant with that.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
again, the surety of how to make money, because this one you download it for free.
Mhm.
That is just download it for free. But when you
Mhm.
start using it, the broker will always be able to charge a little fee, that's now commission, for the use of that space. Just
Mhm.
like any other business, you just go get some space. You are told that you are going to be paying $100 per month for this space.
Mhm.
Yes, that
Mhm.
is now to
Mhm.
the landlord. It's the same thing that
Mhm.
happens with this platform because this is a space that you're using to trade. So maybe
Okay.
$5, depending on how much you have also you're also trading. Just the same way, how much is the space that you've rented for your business at
Mhm.
a normal setup? You just understand this. So
So,
you can
if
have
I
that
need to
money.
get you
Yes,
right, just to get you right, for
yes,
this kind of
yes.
trade, one of the things you mentioned we need to have is we need to have stable internet, we need to have a laptop, and we need to have the training, we need to get the skill right. But apart
Yes.
from that, having the laptop, which is my own, and having Wi-Fi or internet, which is my own, I still need to pay up for space.
No, you don't have to do that. That's now the beauty of this course. Remember,
Uh-huh.
you don't need an office. You
Yes.
can actually trade from the comfort of your house.
But
The
you
comfort of
mentioned
your
that I
house.
need to pay for space when I go to the MetaTrader 4.
Now, when it comes down to the MetaTrader form, Betty, I think now listen to me, get it very right.
Uh-huh.
I was comparing the issue of like now whoever has a shop. You
Okay.
want to have a shop, the shop is not yours. That is, the premises are not yours. You pay rent, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, the downloading of the MetaTrader 4 or 5, you do it for free, downloading it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Now, for you to be able to use it, that now software, you
Mm-hmm.
don't pay it upfront to the brokerage firm.
Mm-hmm.
The payments are usually done in terms of commissions out of the amount of money that you are trading at that particular time. And it is usually
Okay.
automatic. For example,
Okay.
if let's say, for example, you are trading $100,
Mm-hmm.
that's 10,000 Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
And now you now start trading at this particular moment we are talking.
Mm-hmm.
Now the broker will always be able to now realize, okay, you are trading $100.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I'll get from you automatically from that account maybe something to do with, let's say, $3 for that
Okay.
space.
Okay.
Actually, as you
Okay.
trade and you don't know that, though it is
Mm-hmm.
not actually, you cannot be able to do that when you don't know how it works. They just do
Mm-hmm.
it deductions automatically because there's money they can be
Okay.
able to see it. Yes, and
Okay.
they are in one way or another taking charge of your trading. So that's
Okay.
when it comes to that. Secondly, We also
I get
have
it.
now in Chungu. Yes, go ahead.
I
Yeah,
get it
moderate.
right. I get it right.
Thank
So
you.
you say that there is guarantee of making money.
It is
How
always there.
about making losses? Because any kind of business makes profit and losses. Does this one as well make losses?
Yeah, Betty, you can actually make losses in forex trading,
Oh,
and
really?
only for one reason.
Mm-hmm.
Reason number one, you are trained, you are very good forex trader, you are professional forex trader.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the issues that I talked about earlier in terms of your trading psychology,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that your state of mind is not supposed to engage when you are trading is anything to do with greed. Let's say today you make $100, $100 because you can have, let's say, 10,000 shillings, which is
Mm-hmm.
$100, and
Mm-hmm.
you double that account in a single day when the markets are good.
Mm-hmm.
So what gets into your mind is that now that I've made 10,000 shillings, which is
Mm-hmm.
$100,
Mm-hmm.
you now say, I must make another $100 by the end of the day. Close of business. Greed
Yes.
gets ahead of you. So
How do
at
you
that point,
differentiate? How do you
yes,
differentiate between that greed and taking a risk? Because for a business person to be a game
yes.
changer in the market,
Mm.
risk has got to be one of the things that you do not fear.
Now, risks are usually there in business and they are usually taken intentionally by a
Mm-hmm.
forex trader, just like many other business. So when
Mm-hmm.
you are trading, you actually ask yourself, how much money do I have in this MetaTrader for? I have
Mm-hmm.
10,000 shillings, which is $100. Now,
Mm-hmm.
how much am I willing to risk? To risk? Because if you are using, like, let's say, for the language of a forex trader,
Mm-hmm.
volume two, volume 2, you have risked with volume 2. That means if I'm going to gain this money, the markets are good, I'm going to gain by a volume of 2 of the amount of money that is in my MetaTrader 4. But in case things go against the what? The market
Mm-hmm.
can go against you.
Mm-hmm.
You lose by the same volume, volume 2. That is now you've taken a risk, a gain and a
Mm-hmm.
loss. So
Mm-hmm.
you are usually as I execute this trade, if things don't work according to how I've analyzed the market, I'm going to use to lose by that margin. Now, the beauty of this kind of a risk where you are going to lose
Mm-hmm.
is that already your mind is set that I can actually lose this money. For example, let's say I can lose $5 in case the markets don't favor me. But at what point do the markets don't favor you? The markets do not favor you if you have not
Mm-hmm.
analyzed the markets properly. Because as you get to
Mm-hmm.
execute these trades, you have gone to have done what you call background checks. We have this TV channel that is known as Bloomberg. I know you
Mm-hmm.
know it.
Yes. Bloomberg.
Bloomberg is one of the TV channels
Mm-hmm.
that any forex trader will not fail to be on it anytime because it analyzes markets 24/7, and that means when it is anything to do with the devaluation of maybe the dollar or the euro,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know, if Trump, for example, the US president, there's
Mm-hmm.
something that is going to announce that may affect the dollar in terms of value, you must
Mm-hmm.
have a background check on that. That is a channel that where a forex trader will have a reference to all the time that they are trading. So when you're taking
Mm-hmm.
this kind of a risk where a loss is actually incurred, and a
Mm-hmm.
forex trader you end up maybe losing $500. Actually, if you now analyze yourself, you realize that there's something that you did not do when it comes to market analysis. You never did it because
Mm-hmm.
you will execute this trade for maybe 10 minutes, 30 minutes, you get your money, but you use more time when analyzing the market for you to realize those profits. So there's nothing for free, Betty, when it comes to this, because some people may be thinking it is easy come money. You work for it because you have to be trained. And
So you have
then,
to be on the lookout. You have to
yeah,
keep checking what's happening.
yes, you have to keep on checking, you have to analyze the markets. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when you're executing these markets, you just say, as I execute this, I know in the next few seconds, I'll have my $100 in the next few seconds. If you analyze the markets very well. And those are some of the things that professional traders do. Most of them don't forget that. That's
Mm-hmm.
why for anyone who has lost money and you hear somebody say, I lost money, look
Mm-hmm.
at, has that person been trained? The answer is no. Number two, there are also those who are trained but they ignore some of those indicators because of what? Because of greed.
Ah, okay.
But
So
in
it's
reality,
lack
they are
of
trained.
training.
Lack
I'd
of
like
training.
us to talk more on trading, but then before that, please tell us what are the available markets because when Wanjiko is going to the Komba, she has already strategized. If I take my tomatoes, which I have bought at 5 shillings, at Lavington, I would probably get 100% profit. And if I go to Madare just nearby, I will, make only 2 shillings out of that. So instead of selling my tomatoes at 10 shillings, I will sell them at 7 shillings. What is the available market? How does it move like? Is everyone making the same money?
Okay, but what you are saying is actually very much compatible with what happens in the Forex markets.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is selling the tomato the same quality in Gikomba, and
Mm-hmm.
that person who is selling
Who is trading in Forex? Richard, if you can hear me. Richard,
had lost you.
yes, if you can hear me, I had asked you about the difference between, do people make the same money? Is the value the same? What's the valuable market like?
Okay, fine. Betty, all this, I think I was explaining by the time I think I lost you for a
Mm-hmm.
few seconds.
Okay.
Now, what happens is that the Kikomba guy and that guy in Lavington, they don't get the same money
Mm-hmm.
for the same quality of tomatoes.
Yes.
But in this case, this analogy can only apply in this case scenario when it comes to Forex markets.
Mm-hmm.
The brokers are different, just the way we have different supermarkets owned by different proprietors.
Mm-hmm.
But again, now this always depends on the amount of capital that a forex trader will be able to inject in the
Mm-hmm.
platform.
Mm-hmm.
As I said earlier, quality in this case and of that account that you have been able to open will always depend on how much money do you have in that account. There's
Okay.
somebody who has 10 million in that account in
Mm-hmm.
terms of either the US dollars. There's
Mm-hmm.
someone else who has 1 million US dollar. Do
Mm-hmm.
they make the same amount of money at the end of the day using even the same volume?
Of
The
course
answer is
not.
not. They don't. They don't make
Mm-hmm.
the same amount of money. Why?
Right.
Because the quality of their accounts in terms of value in the amount of money injected in that account is
Mm-hmm.
very different. So the
Mm-hmm.
Gikoba person is that person who has lesser money in the empty form
Mm-hmm.
as compared to that person who has a huge amounts of money. And that's why, Betty, you realize that no single retail trader will be able to compete with the commercial banks. Because the commercial banks, they have a lot of money. They have
Capital.
a lot
Yeah.
of liquid cash. So
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to issues to do with trading, they are the ones that we call the market movers. They move the markets a lot. And they're allowed actually to trade 24/7, as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
me and you who are retail traders who will just trade between Monday to Friday. Why? Because we do not have that kind of cash that the commercial banks have. So quality in terms of accounts with the person in Gikomba, it is all about how much money do you have in that account. It is as simple
Mm-hmm.
as that. Somebody who has a lot of money will make huge profits within a single day, as opposed to that person who has very little, using the same volume, same MetaTrader 4, same brokerage firms. But again, the dynamics actually when you're trading, they're not actually the same, because the amount of money you are trading is also very, very much different. Yes, Betty. Yes.
Richard, for someone who has put in capital of 100 USD, how much can they possibly make in a month?
In a month.
Yes.
Betty, if you allow me, I will not even talk about a month.
Okay.
But $100, we can even start with talking about in a single day. In a single day, that will translate into a week of 5 days, that will translate into a month of 20 days. And when we talk about 20 days, I'm excluding all the weekends, because during the weekend, the markets are usually dormant. So $100 is an equivalent of 10,000 Kenya shillings. So when the markets are good enough, favorable enough in a single day, that person can actually make approximately 3,000 shillings. That's supposed to be $30 in a single day. Okay,
in
we
a
also
single
have
day.
in a single day. So that translates into 15,000 Kenya shillings now in the Kenyan context. That translates into times 4, 60,000 in a month. But Betty, that cannot be that constant all the time, because sometimes in a single day, there are times markets are usually very favorable. That if you have $100, you can get $100 in a single day. In other words, you can double that account.
Okay.
You can get double that account. That's when, for those people who cannot be able to maybe control their greed, it comes in. It is just in the morning before 8 o'clock, and I've already made my $100 out of my $100 that I have here. So they go back to trade, and they even execute this using higher volumes. That is now where the risks also are involved. So we always actually advise. You get your 3,000, you get your $100 because the account has doubled, because the markets are good. Transfer that money to your account, because you can do that at the comfort of your house, in front of your laptop, or you can transfer the same amount of money in your M-Pesa account. So, so in a single month, on average, now talk about average, $100, that's 10,000 Kenya shillings. You can comfortably make between 50 to 60, now on average. But the market in that month can be so good that you can make even double that $100 in a month. So it depends on the dynamics of the markets, and that's what very well.
Okay, so this is my business.
Yes.
I got this training and I have been certified. So I have the certificate to enable me to trade. Do I pay taxes to the government? Does the government take and track my money? Because when I go to bank it, usually what I know is I'm gonna be asked, where is this money coming from? What is declare the source?
Okay, Betty, when you are going to bank this money, there are two ways of banking. You can bank directly from your platform to your account in the bank, and the bank will always see that this money is coming from a MetaTrader 4. They know it's coming from MetaTrader 4. Now, when I'm speaking about taxes and what is involved in this business, I think somehow I'll be talking on behalf of the Capital Markets Authority, because this is the body that is mandated and that regulates Forex trading as per the laws of this country. And that took effect in August 2018. So currently, and the available information that we have is that from Capital Markets Authority, they are actually putting in place mechanisms that will enable each and every Forex trader, an individual Forex trader, or even an institution that is trading, to be able to pay taxes. But for the brokerage firms that have already been accredited in Kenya by Capital Markets Authority, they are actually paying their taxes, that is for sure. But they're also following that single individual Forex trader who is
Mm-hmm.
making a lot of money so that they can be able to pay those taxes. And they'll also be able to do that. They're doing that through Central Bank of Kenya. So the mechanism is not fully, that is not complete as yet,
Mm-hmm.
according to the information that I do have. But
Mm-hmm.
very soon, every Forex trader will be caught up by the capital markets authority so they can be able to pay taxes to the country,
Mm-hmm.
to the car, that is, out of how much money they are making. And that's why they are very, very much fixed to, if you are trading in Forex markets in this country, you use the Forex brokers that have been accredited in this country and that have offices in this country.
Okay. So,
Yes.
Richard, we are getting to the end of our show. Please tell us who cannot trade in this business and also take us through a little bit about trading that we still need to learn. We have less than 5 minutes.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Betty. Now, you have asked a very interesting question to do who cannot be able to trade in the Forex market. And I'll also give you a very interesting answer that whoever cannot trade in the Forex market are those that do not have a sound mind, or that unfortunately, because of natural attrition, have left the face of this world. So anybody from the level of a KCPE all the way, because we've trained people who are 70 plus years.
Okay.
They have gotten it. We have trained lecturers, and lecturers, they really retire at a very at a later age, as opposed to the normal civil servants in this country.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who is interested in this market, in this course, can actually be able to execute this. And also, interestingly, we have also received students who do not have uh, um, digital literacy. In other words, they do not know anything to do with computers. They
Mm-hmm.
just go and buy these laptops and they come with them. And as they are taught how to go about trading, they are also taught how to navigate with it. So you don't have like to have a prior knowledge of computers, though it
Mm-hmm.
becomes an added advantage
Mm-hmm.
in that for you to be able to execute your trades in the Forex markets. So you don't have to come to our institution, and once you do that, you realize that you're computer illiterate, and then you first go and take those packages. We can actually do so as you trade. But again, for those who have done IT, those who have done CPA, that's financial courses, those who are
Mm-hmm.
also computer literate, they get what we call due advantage because the issue of forex trading is tech based, and therefore means that for them to be able now to get very fast is usually very easy. Okay, we also received students who, for example, they receive this content slowly. They also depending on age, and they don't
Okay.
actually mind because of the interest they do have to go on for more than even 3 months. There are some who have said, "I'm going to persevere," and they have taken double that time. And as we speak, we celebrate as a college that
Mm-hmm.
these are some of the people who are making a lot of money. I can't mention names here, but we know them because they come back to us.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, also because of the COVID-19, it has
Mm-hmm.
also been a blessing in disguise as well. Because
Mm-hmm.
once we closed down, because of the directives that were given by the national government
Mm-hmm.
governing the MOH protocols,
Mm-hmm.
we went online so that we can be able to deal with those students who are continuing and those that were also enrolling. So currently we have a very strong student base that are learning
Mm-hmm.
online all the way from Mombasa. We are dealing with students from Kakamega, right from the comfort of only one single room in the name and office, wherever it is located.
Wow.
So it has not been in terms of geographical constraints. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, right now, we're also receiving people calls from Nigeria, and we
Mm-hmm.
are actually going to have that group taught online via this laptop. You only need a strong internet, this laptop, for you to be able to execute that. So for those who may wish also to reach us, they can be able to do so via 0707 777 925. That is our official line. And they can also visit our Facebook page, Anovax Technical College. That is our Facebook page. You do also have a website that is still under construction. We are doing some modification. Our domain is www.etc.ac.ke. But for now, for those who may get into it right now, it's under construction, and once it is up, you'll be able to see it. So Betty, again, I think we are dealing with also the under 5 minutes. We also have the course books, and they are in the 6 modules that we already have, and they are under print now. And each one of those course books carries a particular unit of this course, because if we are the designers of the curriculum, it was important as per the directives of the Minister of Education to come up with also reading materials, and they'll be full color. And once they are out there in the market, we'll be able to let the public know, because I know there are those who are asking for those books right now, and we are going to bring them to you anytime from next week. Betty?
Wow. Excellent,
Yes.
excellent. Thank you so much, Richard. That was such a TMI. We have gotten lots of information. I hope that every interested person can actually contact you through Facebook, the phone number you have given, and also the domain that you have shared. Thank you so much for taking interest and teaching people something different, a different way of making money without being confined. Thank you also, viewer, for watching this program. I hope that you have learned something new, and you're definitely going to take it up as a challenge. Thank you. My name is Betty Akuku. I have been your host. See you next time.
Thank you.